Fiancé Fridays we on. Recap some commentary on. Bismillah, first name George, and I brought the Shabooty with me. We in DC. My favorite show is 90 Day Fiancé. 90 Day. We about to recap. Let's go. Now it's 90 Day Fiancé. I'ma bring the recap. Yeah, Shabooty in the room with me. We got the scoop. And it's Friday, you know it's payday. Yeah, 90 Day Fiancé. 90 Day. We gon' recap. Shabooty with me, he got the scoop, you know we got it. 90 Day Fiancé, it's 90 Day, it's 90 Day Fiancé. We about to recap. Y'all know it's Friday. Let's recap. Shabooty, talking about 90 Day Fiancé. First name George with Shabooty, talking about the Singe Life. You know we got this. Talking about 90 Day Fiancé Friday we on. Recap some commentary on. It's 90 Day Fiancé.
Welcome everybody to 90 Day Fiancé Fridays on a Wednesday.
Oh, it is Wednesday. Oh crap. It's February 11th, y'all. We're really close to Valentine's Day. So if you're a man, I'm sorry because you're about to spend a lot of money.
True, yeah, and I shocked George because I told him I was drinking wine on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I was shocked because I purposely was gonna hit my vape pen and get a little high, and I was like, no, let me be good. It's Wednesday. I don't need to be.
Normally, I'm a very good boy on on a school night, quote unquote. Even though obviously I'm not in school. Yeah, but I had one. You ever had one of those stressful work days where you're just like, oh hell no, I got to go get a nice expensive bottle of wine.
Oh, I've had those days. The other day, I went to the airport and I was on time. Like my definition of on time is a little different from everybody else's. But I got to my flight left at 1:35. Okay, so I got to the airport at 12:55. So I have TSA clear pre-check, so I don't wait in line. So I go to the line, which was non-existent, and then the TSA machines break. So they couldn't scan my luggage for like 25 minutes. And then I get on the train because I was in Atlanta. I get on the train. The train is like a 20-minute ride. The train, something happens and there's an alarm going off and they're saying there's a bomb threat in the airport. So we're sitting on the train for 30 minutes. So by the time I get to my gate, the plane is at the gate. They won't let me on it because they closed the doors 4 minutes prior. So I immediately went to the airport bar and bought the strongest alcoholic drink that they had because I was like, this is going to be an issue because I'm going to have to call Bay and tell her to come back and get me after she dropped me off at the airport. So this is going to be, I need to be drunk to do that.
True, yeah. Not to get into my whole situation, but I guess I'll get into it a little bit. But like long story, I'll try to make it as quick as possible because I don't want to get into the weeds too much. But like at my job, we bought this like $5,000 camera, like a Sony camera. And then, but we got there's those websites you can buy like a used camera. It's like a smidgen cheaper. But anyway, we bought this like $5,000 camera. And then for whatever reason, there's an input 1 on the camera and there's an input 2 on the camera. And for whatever fucking reason, input 2 on the camera was not recording like audio. So imagine your boss. Anyway, you buy an expensive camera and input 2 isn't recording, and you're just like stressed the fuck out. So that's what stressed me the fuck out without getting too like into it.
Oh, so we both had a rough week.
Yeah, it's a nightmare when you're the asshole in charge of everything, and then like the camera ain't working.
Well, yeah, because you can't blame it on anybody because it's you. Like it's you. Like there's no scapegoat. So yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah, so that was one of those days. But anyway, I'll survive with my 90 Day Fiancé family to embrace me.
Yeah, we have the family. We're gonna stick together, and apparently the chicken lady has attacked you again. So we got your back. So if there's any loose chickens outside your house, let us know. I'll bring the deep fryer. We got your back. We'll fry those chickens right up.
Yeah, we'll have to roast Renee, aka Rain. We should just call her Rain. Purposely say her name wrong. I guess we'll have to say that for Friday.
Yeah, we don't really have time because we got a 2-hour episode of the Singe Life premiere, and there's so many different angles to discuss because Twitter has been going crazy, Instagram has been going crazy. Different cast members are being annihilated left and right. I got annihilated because I posted a post saying that I knew about it and I knew about the kids and I got destroyed. And I'm like, how am I catching a stray? I was just saying that I knew about it. And then I even got somebody comment. They were like, "We feel really hurt that you knew about this and didn't share it on the pod." I've told y'all there are
Mhm.
certain things I just can't do. And when it comes to my actual friends, I can't do it. I'm never going to sell my friends' stories for a like or a view or monetization. I'm never going to do that. So I got a handful of folks that I really fucks with, and I'm just not going to ever sell them out. I'm sorry. Like, call me a sellout if you want, but I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, there's certain things that are like life, personal shit that you just don't spill to your from your besties. But yeah, I know Kim was kind of like the main character of this episode in terms of backlash and reactions and shit.
Oh yeah, she's had it hard. I've been on the phone with her all day and she's had it hard. I mean, she's doing okay, but I do think that people are really, really, really judgmental, especially to say that this happened 30 years ago. Like, people are really making it seem like she did this last year. I was like, why are people so upset? You have to remember, adoption has changed because a lot of people are like, oh, you should have looked for your kids. Guys, the adoption was closed. It was actually illegal for her to look. If she would have went online, well, I'm sorry, 30 years ago you couldn't go online. If she would have went and figured out where they were, she probably would have got arrested because it's illegal to do that when it comes to a closed adoption. It's privacy stuff, but it's crazy. They're like really coming after her, and I don't know. My stance is adoption is always better than abortion, right? Because some people can't have kids, and having a kid, you can give them a gift to someone else, right? So say you have a kid and you can't take care of it. How many times has a meth head got pregnant? That kid can be gifted to someone who doesn't have the ability to have a child, and it's a blessing. So it's crazy to me that she did adoption and people are annihilating her because there was the option of abortion. So what would they feel about that? Like, that's even worse in my opinion.
Yeah, like and what's I mean, you have all the inside info, so say as much as you can say without saying things you can't say, but like with like Larry or whatever, like is he going to become a public figure or is she shielding him from being a public figure? Because I'm a little confused because I got mixed signals on that.
I mean, I've known about Larry for like a really long time. Like, I don't want to put like a timeline on it, but it's been more than a year, multiple years. Like, I've known about this situation for a really long time. And Larry has never really seemed to want to be in the spotlight. He more so just wanted to find his mom.
Hmm.
I don't know if, he's going to be like Jamal and become like a recurring figure or whatever, because I don't really feel like that's what he really wanted, because when he first came around, it was more so he just wanted to get to know his mom, what she liked, what she did, that type of stuff. Like, because I can't relate to someone who's been adopted. I wasn't adopted, but I know when I've met people who were adopted. They're usually just interested in just knowing where they came from, where they get their weird habits. Like, why do I do this? And to figure that out, you have to know who your parents are. And I think that that's more so what he was going to do in the beginning. How they came about filming the show together, I really don't know the full story of that. I just know that she was going to be doing the single life, and this came up and they were like, "Oh, well, do you want to talk more about it?" And then it kind of took on a life of its own.
Like this is a random crowbar, but you know me, I have the way my mind works. It like like spiders out into different webs. So one thing that popped in my head, I was like, isn't it kind of ironic that like Jamal at the time when he was dating Veronica in like North Carolina, it's like technically he was in the city of his brother and he probably didn't know it.
Um,
Or did he know it?
I'm trying to be very careful. I'm trying to think when specifically he was there with Veronica, because I know specifically when he knew about this.
Mhm.
The timelines are very close, Shabooty. Actually, like, the timelines are very close. It's a possibility he did know. I can't with 100% certainty say he already knew. I can't remember specifically when he was down there.
Mhm.
But
But that is, and long story long, that is an interesting coincidence, whatever.
well, yeah, it definitely is. And a lot of people are criticizing the way Jamal reacted on the show. Did you
Yeah.
feel like Jamal's reaction was over the
There,
top?
there's some person on Twitter who's like going off on Jamal. I didn't necessarily agree with that woman. This person I'm thinking about. I could actually pull up some of her tweets, but there's one person on Twitter. I think I retweeted her. Let me actually pull up one of her tweets because I actually quote retweeted her because like her response was so strong And I was like, oh my God, like this is such a strong response. And I didn't agree with the strength of her response. But I had to like quote retweet her because I was like taken aback at how like passionate she was against Jamal. So let me read what she said. And again, I'm not saying these aren't my words. This is a quote retweet. So let me read her thing. This person says, I let's see. It says, okay, I think it's about Larry, but it says, so this random person on Twitter says, I hope he's a better person than Jamal. Jamal being all pissed and pouty because she didn't share the fact that she had to put two children up for adoption. Grow the fuck up. So that was like towards Jamal.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean,
Wrong.
I got a lot of strong responses on my post too. And, you know, a lot of people feel like Jamal can be a dick,
Mhm.
especially in this situation. But guys, you have to remember there's cameras there, and sometimes people are coached on what they should say and how they should say things. So just keep in mind, like I wasn't there when it was filmed, so I can't tell you what happened. But just keep in mind that sometimes they film the same scene 20 times until they get the result that they want. I'll just say that. So maybe
True.
the scene that you saw wasn't his natural reaction, but it was, you know, take number 33 that the producers wanted. You know, like you have to think about that. Because I think Emily is the one who went on her live one time and she was like the scene where her and Kobe were fighting in the car. She said they filmed it so many times that she said that she would laugh hysterically because she couldn't keep a straight face because she was like, how many times can I pretend fight with my husband before I just start laughing? This is silly. So just keep in mind when you do see things and you're like, I don't like the way they reacted. That might have been their 14th reaction because they keep filming things. And especially if you ever watch Teen Mom being filmed, I remember seeing one of their scenes being filmed right in front of me and they literally the same scene 25 times until the producers got the right reaction that was going to stir the right people upset online, and then they went with it.
Yeah, I think like they do whatever. I think the producers definitely were they're trying to get, like you were saying, like trying to get something that would trigger people, like in both camps, like anti Jamal, pro Kim, anti Kim, pro Jamal. So there's like always, they definitely did a good job of like stirring up the pot where people have very strong feelings now.
Yeah, you're right. I think that they did it to where she's going to get supporters and haters and everywhere in between, you
Mhm.
know, the way it was filmed. And it was kind of crazy, though, because that first scenes that she filmed where she hooked up with B at the hotel or a motel, whatever, that's crazy, right? That was kind of wild. I was like, I couldn't believe that she did that. I was like, you out here doing booty calls. That's
Well,
crazy.
you know what I was thinking though? I was like, whatever. So like, well, it's like the only thing I was thinking of is like, well, I know she has a daughter. I guess we can get into that later. But like, the only thing I was thinking of is like, it's a good thing Jamal's like a guy because if Jamal was like a chick, all this shit that like Kim puts Jamal through, like Jamal would be like, if Jamal was a chick, all the shit that Kim puts Jamal through, if he was a she, would be the sluttiest chick on the planet from all the damage that Kim puts Jamal through.
Oh, like the shoe is on the other foot situation.
It's just like when somebody's like damaged from like their parents, then they're like if they're a woman, they might be slutty. I'm just like Jamal, if he was a woman, would be the
Well,
sluttiest
right,
woman.
because he would rebel in the form of promiscuity, because that's how women rebel usually, especially against their dad. In am I saying that wrong?
Prom-
Promiscuity? How do you say it? Promiscuity. Somebody say it. I can't.
Uh,
Gina. God damn
well, I
it.
know
Gina,
there's promiscuous and promiscuous, whatever. Fuck, I had too much wine, so
whatever that word
say
is.
promiscuous.
Yeah, they're in promiscuous. But
Yeah.
isn't it promiscuity or
No,
no?
no, no, I know it's not promiscuity.
There's another form of it, right? There has to be a present and past tense,
Well,
right?
let's look at our live chat. Let's see what the live chat.
Guys, help me, please. Make it
Promiscuousness?
seem like
No,
yeah.
promiscuous. I think it's promiscuous.
Oh, permitted
No, I think
promiscuity.
you say
Promiscuity. Wait, promiscuity. Promiscuity. I got it.
promiscuity. Yeah, we're learning how to speak English. Fuck.
Promiscuity. I got it. That's what. So yeah, usually, so if Jamal was Jamila, he would rebel in the form of letting every guy she meets bang her. That's usually what happens. So yeah, luckily Jamal is a guy, so he's not like what do you call it? Responding in that way. So technically, it's good because he would be a whore if he was a girl. Just
Yeah, though, depending on the person you ask, some people may say he's a man whore, but that's a different story.
Well, is that a real thing? Can men be whores?
Only if you got it like that, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Like, I don't think men can be whores. For some reason, men can sleep with everybody and no one calls them whores. A girl sleeps with one dude and she's automatically a whore. Like, it's totally unbalanced. And I don't know why it's like that.
True. And then I know like well, I know you saw my memes because like Kim always has to CC you on text with me. But anyway, like I did some memes, but I feel like my memes were fairly like they weren't vicious or anything. But the one thing I was gonna say is like because I know Kim ultimately she was like she told me like she had like chill out on the memes for a little bit with Larry or something. And then but then I noticed like on Facebook she posted her long like paragraph and I saw it got like 40,000 plus likes on Facebook, her like paragraph explaining her stance and stuff and her side of the story. Um but then I know she like tagged Larry on Facebook. So I was a little like I was like, well, if you want Larry to be like not in the spotlight, why are you tagging him? So that was the only part that like took me a little back.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I don't think she tagged him on IG.
No, but on yeah, I don't know about IG, but on Facebook, where it got like 40 to 50,000 likes on the post, she definitely tagged Larry on Facebook. So that was the part I was a little like confused by because I know she said to me, like, yeah, we chill out on the Larry memes for a little bit, but then she tagged him on Facebook. So I was like, well, why are you tagging him if you want him to like keep a low profile? I don't know.
That is an interesting um take on that.
True, but
I don't know.
anyway, it's a good. All I'll say is it's a good thing. Like, well, anyway, like yeah, I know there's a lot of people coming for Kim, but the fact that she's like George's bestie, I try to go as easy as possible.
I mean, people are coming for her, and I'm gonna defend her. That's my bestie, and we've been friends for like, oh my gosh. I think I've been longer friends with Angela, but like me and Kim have been friends at least 5 years, like a really, really long time. I'm gonna defend her. At the end of the day, what she did, I keep saying it, she didn't hurt anyone. She didn't do anything illegal. She didn't do anything um immoral. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna defend her. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, it's hard when someone has multiple kids and they don't keep all, but they keep one, or they don't keep two, or they keep three, whatever. I understand what you're saying, but unless you were in that situation, when that person had to make that decision, you really never know. And I have friends that actually, when I was in high school, there was a girl who got pregnant and she ended up giving up the baby for adoption, which was probably the best option for her at that moment. Her parents weren't going to help her with it. They were going to kick her out of the house if she kept it. And she made that decision. And I try not to judge people you make a decision based on the options presented to you. And unless you know what people's options were when they made that decision, you can't really judge the decision in itself. You have to really understand what they were faced with. When somebody robs a bank, they probably were faced with some pretty fucked up options, right? Like, for you to do something horrible like that, you didn't have a lot of options. So I think of it like that. Like, when people make such a drastic choice, just
Mhm.
put yourself in their shoes and understand. Drag people if you want to drag people. Because, I feel like there's some moms out there who didn't put their kids up for adoption who could be in their lives a little more. I'm just going to put that out there. And that person happens to be on this season of the Single Life too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not Julia.
it's not Julia. I mean, I'm assuming that Julia's in her child's life. We've just never seen her hold it or anything online. But I'm
Mhm.
assuming that she fucks with the baby. I'm just saying there is a girl on the show who could spend a little bit more time with her daughter and a little bit less time chasing dick. I'm just gonna say that.
Mhm. And then I was gonna say, so then like, so anyway, I did some, and again, I'm friends with Kimberly. So like, if I do memes, like, there's certain people I'm not friends with, but I am friends with Kimberly, and how she's cool. Like, she rolls with the punches as best as she can, and if you're in her shoes, sometimes the first three punches she rolls with it, and then the fourth punch like clips her chin a little bit, and she gets like bothered by the fourth punch. But anyway, so then I did a tweet. I said, "Wow, was Kim a?" I said, "Wow, was Kim a paratrooper on the USS Stork?" And then I did like a meme of like a stork paratrooping, and then anyway, I felt like that was pretty like light work or whatever. As far as like I don't think that was that harsh. But there was one meme that somebody else replied to, and I gotta like that was a little more fucked up, but and obviously I didn't like share it or repost it, but I gotta read it for the podcast. And again, we're still Team Kimberly, but if somebody has like a funny tweet, I have to read it for the sake of comedy. So there's one person who replied to my tweet, and they said, "Damn, was she flying out of the airplanes and straight into dick every time?"
Oh, wow.
So anyway, let's just move on.
Jesus. I mean, Jesus. Well, can I just make it a little better? Just it was the same dick for all three kids. Like, I'm just gonna throw that out there as the same dick, one dick, not like multiple dicks, one dick.
Yeah, and that wasn't my tweet. That was somebody else's reply. But anyway, okay. So who haven't we talked about? Okay, let's talk about Gino, I guess. So Gino went to like single. Oh, Gino went to singles night. Did you see the Pog on singles night that was hosting singles?
Well, I saw her, but I didn't really notice what was happening until you posted your post. I didn't even notice that
Mm.
because she looked really petite. Like I didn't notice that at all. And then when you posted the picture, I had to zoom in because I was like, is this a fake photo? Because is that a real ass? I was very
Oh,
surprised.
I gotta send you like. There's a video. Well, she has a whole like Instagram account, but there's a. I'll have to send you a video of her like parading around or something. That will really make your eyes. I know you have a bay, but that'll really make your eyes bulge out of your head.
So was it real? Was it a BBL? Like I had
I
so
think it's just one of those like it's like one of those it's like a what's it called it's an anomaly.
yeah, it's kind of like what that's probably how BBL started. Women like her had
Mm.
it natural, and then other women were like, why does she get to have it? And that's probably how BBLs were invented because all women wanted that.
Yeah, and it's like of course she's like the host of singles night because it's like but then it's like if you're a single dude on singles night and you see the host with a giant badunkadunk, you're like, well, why do I want to talk to all the other ladies in the room when the host is like the hottest chick in the room and the hottest chick in the room? What the fuck?
I don't want to say hottest, like she wasn't like a
Yeah, like
total package. Like her face could have been a little better, but
yeah.
yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. I totally get it.
Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you're able to like watch like a Instagram reel and do the podcast without fucking up your audio, but I like DM'd you and Gina like the little Instagram reel of her or whatever. So check that out without as long as it doesn't ruin your like audio. Oh, and I could put it in the page.
Downtown. Valentine's Day is coming, and so is Picture Friend.
Sorry, I could post it in the Patreon chat as well.
Wait, did you just send it to me?
And I put it in the Patreon chat and
Oh, you put it in the group chat.
I put it in the Instagram DMs.
Yeah, but in a group chat. I got it. I got it.
Yeah, so anyway, that video will better explain why I made a meme dedicated to her.
Oh, wow. Yeah. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she knows she's up.
Lady turned around and walked away. She knows what she's doing. She knows that it must be commission for everybody she gets through the door. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, she knows how to she knows how to have a business like attracting singles, basically.
Yeah.
But
She's working overtime.
yeah, so there was that chick I memed. Okay, let's go. I'm trying to think. Okay, we didn't really talk too much about Gino. So there was a whole Natalie storyline, but I was kind of already aware of that.
So wait, I have questions.
Okay.
So Gino said that he hadn't spoken to Natalie since they filmed that tell-all, No Limits. Is that an accurate statement?
I don't know if it's an accurate statement because like all the like timelines kind of blur together, but
He said it was almost a year. Like, did they go radio silent for a year? I didn't because it kind of seems like that's not true.
yeah, like yeah, I don't have like definitive tea on that, but if I was going by like common sense, I would say that doesn't seem like that seems nonsensical. Um, I assume they were still, you know, in some communication, but at the same time, it's like, well, okay, so they did the single life, but I'll be surprised if they're still talking present day, though. I will say that just because it seems a little disconnected lately.
So you think that they're no longer together? Because when you met Gino,
Hmm.
they were together.
Yeah, Natalie was with Gino.
Do you have a timeline for that?
That was when I met Gino was like in July.
So like 7, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And they were dating, like physically dating.
Yeah, I think at that point it seemed pretty real because why the fuck else would they be like spending Fourth of July together and then hanging
And they
out?
weren't filming, right? They were
Oh
just
yeah, they were not filming then and like so they hung out for Fourth of July. I think they saw the fireworks together in like DC, which has a really nice like fireworks show. And then Gino met up with me in like in DC area, let's just say, and we met all, and she was there, and we all met up in person. So it seemed like things were going good then, but then I don't know. Nowadays, I don't really hear a peep, so I'm not really sure. But it's weird too with like Gino. Well, I know Jasmine always tries to expose Gino as much as she can and try to embarrass him as much as possible. But still, it does seem like with Gino, it's like if you're a hot female fan of 90 Day Fiancé and you slide in his DMs, like he's all about it. So that's the part that's kind of what that's what forms my opinions. It's not, it just seems like very easy to slide in Gino's DMs and holler at him.
I don't have a different take on that. I think that so what I got when I was watching the episode is that Gino has not learned his lesson.
Mm,
He is still out here looking for toxic Latinas.
mm,
Like I've just got that vibe because he was like, I just want to find me a young, pretty, hot, sexy woman. I was like, see, that's where you go wrong. You're looking for everything that Jasmine was when you first met her. You got to learn from your mistakes, right?
mm.
Like if you ended up with a crazy lady who literally tried to physical attack you on camera in front of people, that had a baby on you, that cheated on you, that did all this stuff, maybe change the narrative a little bit and maybe try to date someone that isn't a complete piece of garbage. But, just my opinion, but I think that Gino hasn't learned his lesson. And I think until he learns his lesson, he's never going to find somebody that is going to work out for him because he wants toxic. And there are a lot of people out there that are only attracted to toxic. I'm kind of like that. I purposely do things that I know that will piss off my girlfriend because I like a little bit of toxic. I don't want her to stab me, but I do want a little bit of toxic.
Yeah, I think I think the Natalie thing is good for the show because again, oh, by the way, let's not to like whatever, not to point out age, but isn't Natalie not? I mean, obviously she's attractive. Isn't she in her 50s or something like that?
Yeah, she was like close to his age, but she was super hot.
No, no. As someone that has not many people can say they hung out with like Gino and Natalie in person, and so I hung out with them in person, like over drinks and stuff and appetizers. And no, like Natalie is very attractive, like in person. And well, you're probably the same as me, but like I'm a very like shallow person. Like I'm very like like looks are very important. And Natalie was very pretty and very attractive. And for me to say that, I wouldn't blow smoke up your ass.
I mean, from what I saw, she was very attractive. When I heard her age, I was very shocked. Kind of like Sean Robinson,
Mhm.
right? Sean Robinson's like 60 something years old. And there's a lot of people out there who would tell you Sean Robinson can get it,
Mhm.
right? Like her age, she is just good looking. Like it's wild to me that there are people out there that look that good at that age. I want to be that one day. I don't know what they're doing, but I want some of that.
True. Like the one thing I don't know her exact like occupation, but and again, not to like pull the curtain back too much, but I think like her line of work, I think she works like for like a plastic surgeon office or something. So I think she works for, like a plastic surgeon. So again, I'm not trying to like connect the dots, but I assume that means she has had plastic surgery herself.
Possibly. I mean, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Sean Robinson probably is not all natural. There's probably some facial work done. That face looks good, but I can verify that information with you. That is what I heard as well. She works in the medical field. I can verify that.
So anyway, yeah, that's the Gino thing. Let me go through some of my live tweets and see what I didn't what or see what I tweeted about. Let's see. Hold on, give me a second to pull up my tweets. Oh, by the way, so a random question. Since the single light, I know you said you were on the phone with like Kim a lot. Have you talked with Jamal since the show at all?
No, I haven't talked to Jamal. I haven't talked to Jamal.
Have you talked to Pedro? Because I know you're friends with him.
No, I haven't talked to Pedro. I've actually been kind of out of commission.
Yeah.
I was out of town for a while, and then when I got back into town, well, supposedly get back to town, I missed my flight, and then I was stuck in the air. Well, I wasn't in the airport, but my flight was supposed to leave at 1, and then I ended up leaving at 7, and then I didn't sleep that night. So then the next day, the day when I got home, I slept the whole day. So a
Mhm.
lot of people texted me and called me, but I haven't talked to them. It could have been those people. I just have been really, really out of it. Just a couple of days. And then I don't know if I told you, but my Instagram is like restricted right now. I can't post anything because they said that I was liking and commenting too fast. So
Mhm.
I'm dealing with that because I've contacted IG like 4 times and they're like, oh, it'll be fine. Just give it another couple of days. It's been 6 days.
So you can't post anything right now?
Oh, have you noticed that I've been dead on there? I can't post.
Like so you can't like post a story there or some shit?
No story, no post, no.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because I posted like on Instagram promoting the podcast and then you didn't post it or some shit. I don't
Because I can't. They won't let me.
know.
Because I can't. I can't post nothing. I can't even post pictures of me working out or thirst trapping. I can't post nothing. Nothing.
Damn. Okay, yeah, I didn't know all about all that. Okay, now go through my tweets.
6 days. That's why when I was in ATL, I didn't post. It wasn't because I was just in my personal life. It was more so because I couldn't post. I would have still posted.
True. Let's see. Well, let me just go through some of my tweets. And again, some of them, whatever. Some of it was like initially at the beginning of the show. So anyway, I said, so dreading watching Single Life. I don't care about Sophie, Julia, Liz. This feels like a waste of time. And then I said, I'm only watching for Gino. And then there was a scene where Gino was on his like singles night thing. And then the women that were at that singles dating event or whatever, one of them quoted towards Gino and said, they said, is he for real? And then my tweet said, she's one to judge Gino, just saying, because some of them weren't really lookers, no offense. So there was that. And then I did a tweet about Kim's friend, which was, no, it wasn't her friend, but it was a host of like the Pitch a Friend. And I said, Kim, who's the pog hosting Pitch a Friend, asking for a friend? And shout out to Kimberly, because as soon as I posted that on Instagram, she immediately like DM me with like the Instagram link for the Pitch a Friend Instagram account. So good luck for Kim on hooking it up. Though I followed the host of Pitch a Friend and she didn't follow me back yet. So too bad you missed out on the free promotion, Pog.
She didn't follow you back. How disrespectful. That's very disrespectful. Does she even know who you are?
I don't remember. Oh, she has like a private. Well, like so, there's the Pitch a Friend public account, and then there's the host of the Pitch a Friend, which I think is that chick, and she has a private account. So I've requested to follow the private account, and then I haven't been accepted. I don't think so. I'm not even following her, let alone getting a follow back yet on the private account.
Oh, well, she won't even know until she accepts you.
Yeah, so hopefully there's still a glimmer of hope for me. And then, okay, we haven't talked about Pedro. So yeah, he was all trying to schmooze Sophie. I knew he said he bought her $2,000 like jewelry, and Sophie loved that. But as soon as he set up the van with like decorations and shit, like flower petals or whatever, rose petals, Sophie kind of scoffed at that, poo-pooed that, and got the ick off the van, which I thought was kind of cunty of Sophie. She liked the jewelry, $2,000 free jewelry, but she didn't like the van dolled up for her, which I thought was bitchy.
Booty, what have I always told you about Sophie? What have I always told you? She's allegedly, this is my opinion, a streetwalker. And do you know what gets a streetwalker's attention? It's not love. It's not affection. It's $2,000 necklaces. That's how you get the attention of a hoe. I don't know her, but I'm telling you, she came over here to be a hoe. That's just what it is. Did you notice how the second Pedro showed interest in her outside of sex, she was turned off? That's kind of the same way she was with Rob. As soon as Rob started saying, I love you, she couldn't get away from him fast enough.
Yeah, she's a fucking like sourpuss.
Like, he said he likes me. That makes me feel uncomfortable. Well, that's what people do when they date.
You yeah, and like not to get all charged up, but like it was also a thing, because she was, I think I'm trying to remember, so she was with like Julia and Liz or whatever. So Sophie was getting the ick or whatever, but then she was like with Julia and Sophie. And it was like the typical thing when a guy's like coming on to her, and then Sophie tells like Julia or Liz or whatever, like, oh, he's like, yeah, I'm getting the ick, and then all of a sudden it becomes like a cock block fest or something.
Well, I think Sophie gets the ick from men because she might actually like women. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Like, you know how Chantel is pretending to like women? I think Sophie might actually like women.
True, that wouldn't.
Time a man shows any interest in Sophie, she cannot shoo him away fast enough. I think Sophie is just out here messing with men because they're buying stuff. They're paying for stuff. Because who do you think flew her to the DR? Pedro. She's messing with men because they're paying for stuff. But when it comes to what she actually wants, she's trying to eat coochie. I think that's what's really going on.
Basically, and then so then at one point, like I think Pedro says, like, I think he's talking about Sophie, but he says like he describes her as like cold, indifferent, weird, So that's what he said about Sophie. And then I tweeted it and I said, this is what Rob is missing out on. So yeah, I feel like Rob well, I can't say he dodged a bullet because he was married to her, but now that he's that's water under the bridge, I don't think he's missing out anymore.
No, I think Rob is at home watching and he's like, that is not my problem anymore and couldn't be happier. Like, when you finally are rid of like, I don't know if anyone's had like a roach problem or like or any type of problem and it was like a pest or something that a nuisance and you finally get rid of it and you just feel free. He probably feels like the exterminator just left his apartment and all the roaches are dead. He probably just feels, damn, I can just lay on the floor now and not worry about a roach like Sophie crawling on me. Like I feel like he's the weight has been lifted.
Sure, okay, this is super random and it's not related to single life and it's a crowbar. But and if you and there's a while I don't even know why I'm bringing this up, but there's a while ago where Rob, if you've seen anyway, he posted like some like threads post where he said like he was at a public appearance, I think, or something. He said I don't know if it was like 90 Fiancé fan, but he said it was some chick that kept like grabbing his like crotch or something, like grabbing him and stuff. And then he was all trying and he was kind of taken aback and put by it. Did you see that post at all?
Wait, what was this?
We might have saved this for Friday. There was a while, like a couple of weeks ago, or Rob was at like a public event, and he said,
Okay.
"fan." I wish I could pull up his point. I could try to find his post, but he said a fan kept like grabbing his like crotch area, and then he was off put by it.
Oh, I kind of do remember this.
Let me see if I can
He
find
said
it.
something like if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was gender roles reversed, it would
Yeah,
be something else. I kind of do remember him posting that, and he's not wrong. I
yeah.
actually was watching a reel or a TikTok sometime recent in the last month, and some dude was at a concert. He was performing.
Oh,
And,
I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I have the full post if you want to read it real quick.
oh yeah, read it.
Okay, so it says while playing, this is from like February 1st. While playing darts with friends this weekend, a girl tried to grab my crotch 4 different times, grinded on me while trying to shoot, so to distract me, and all of it was unwanted. I told her to stop, but she didn't. Honest responses. What more should I have done? If I called the cops, she might say it was the other way around. I'm genuinely asking because it happens sometimes and it's uncomfortable for me. The vibe I get from society, though, is I'm weird to complain. So that was like Rob's post.
Well, no, he's not wrong. It's not weird to complain, and if the shoe was on the other foot, somebody would be in jail. So no, he's not wrong. And for some reason, there's this weird double standard. We kind of got into it with Gino and Jasmine, where if a man turns down a sexual advance, he must be gay.
Mhm.
But if a woman turns down a sexual advance, she's a prude or she's a cock tease, or there's this weird imbalance where men are just supposed to have sex with anybody who offers it to them. That's not a thing. Like men can have standards too. A man can say he doesn't want to have sex, just like if they're in a relationship and one person doesn't want to have sex, a man can say it too. It's not just a woman that can say I'm not in the mood. I don't know why there's this weird imbalance where because Jasmine pulled it on Gino. She's like, he doesn't want to have sex with me. He must be gay. And I was like, he just don't like your stupid ass. Like, let's just be real. He just don't like you. It's a turnoff to deal with somebody as ugly on the inside as you. That's what it really is. Don't try to call it, don't question his orientation because he just can't have sex with somebody as evil as you. Like, just be real.
True. Yeah. As far as the Rob thing, what I may do is after the podcast, I may post that on my Instagram, and then I'm sure there'll be tons of comments, and then we could talk about it more in depth on Friday in terms of the fan reaction to his post. But I don't disagree with him. But anyway. So anyway, let's get back to single life. So okay, there was a the dreaded L word, aka Elizabeth. uh,
Wait, what happened?
no, I said let's get back to single life. So there was the L word, which is Liz.
Oh, Liz. Yeah, she was on it. And oh, I don't know how they got the Liz, um, Sophie, Julia thing, because Julia's not single. So
Yeah,
I was a little confused why they wouldn't have put Courtney on the trip.
yeah.
That was weird. Like I was like, I'm trying to understand the purpose of Julia. She's not single, so she shouldn't even be on a show called The Single Life. Like that's stupid. You should have got another single person who is going to be on this season and put them on the trip, right? Because you know that the trip was part of the production. So why would you put a non-single person on a trip? That's so unnecessary. And no offense, but I don't want to watch Julia on anything. She's literally the most boring person I've ever seen.
like I agree, and like yeah, I don't know how and why like Julia somehow finagled herself, but like the reverence that she's getting from like TLC and Sharp. makes it seem like she's like a fan favorite and shit, but like they're treating her like she's like fucking Huda from Love Island, right? Like that's the kind of reverence they're giving her, the red carpet treatment they're giving her, which is kind of odd.
It's very odd. I'm so confused as to why they put her on a pedestal because she's never really brought any real entertainment value or interest. I understand why they put Angela on a pedestal. She brought entertainment value. Jasmine brings entertainment value. You know, there are Big Ed. He brings entertainment value. Like whether you like the person or not, they're gonna bring interest. Julia doesn't bring shit. Like she's the person who comes over to your house and don't even bring a bottle of wine or a piece of bread. She just shows up. That's what she brings to the table herself, and it's nothing entertaining about it. So I don't get it.
Julia's the type of person, yeah, she'll come to your house and be like, here's my bark box or like my box of my subscription box for dogs. Whether you have a pet or not, here, just take this shit for free.
Yeah, and then she'll demand that you post it on IG, even though you ain't got no dog.
Yeah, she's that type of motherfucker. Anyway, so back to Liz. So at one point, Liz meets some dude named Villa or some shit, and she's like, I'm feeling butterflies, talking to Villa. And of course, I had to call it out. And I said, and I did a tweet. I said, the only butterflies are for your real fiance waiting for her back home in Seattle. So I feel like this is some bullshit ass storyline.
Yeah, it's hard to watch when you know the real story, right? Like you know what's going on, you know who's single and who's not. That's like we were watching Chantel on Hunt for Love when we knew Chantel was quote unquote with Ashley. Like it's just it loses its value when you know that it's not authentic. It's kind of like a waste of everybody's time. And it doesn't help either that Liz is like, "Oh, I'm so happy to get back out there and find a new man."
Yeah.
I was like, there's so many things that you should do in your life other than find another dick. Like here, I can think of like 100 things that you could do in your life that don't involve hopping on another dick. But I'm just saying, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not God. I can't tell her what to do. But there's like a million things she can do to work on herself outside of putting a dick in her mouth. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like when you like lily pad from when you like hopscotch lily pad from dick to dick, like that's not really the way one grows.
Well, right. And I'm not saying guys, don't misinterpret this as like sex shaming or slut shaming because I am a slut. Okay. I am not doing that. I'm just saying personal growth is important. Like if all of your relationships have been failing over and over, that's a failure after failure after failure, you got to take some time to figure out why it's happening. I'm not saying that the guys she was with were good, but she's the one that picked each one. So she's got to work on why she's picking guys that end up hurting her. You know, that's something she's got to work on herself. It's hard to work on that when there's a dick in your mouth.
I'm being a little hypocritical because I've been drinking wine earlier, but like I'm gonna sound like the old uncle or whatever. But like as the old unk or the uncle, like it's kind of isn't it interesting how they did all the promos for like Single Life, what is it, like Galentine's Day or something? And they had a bunch of cocktails and drinks and stuff, and it's like they had Liz and a bunch of like drinking promos, and it's like, is this really the person TLC that you want to have like in drinking promos for your new show when you know they had a DUI? Just saying.
Yeah, that is so crazy. I thought the same thing, right? I was like, damn, this is not a good marketing strategy at all, unless they just don't care.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because, and I know we've talked about in the past, where it's like I think they're at the point where they don't give a fuck because like the spotlight is not on fucking 90 Day Fiancé anymore, and it's not on TLC anymore. Like they could literally get away with anything. No one gives a fuck. Like you know, with like Love Island and like what is it like Love is Blind and whatever. Like there's like scandals and like people get canceled and they remove people from like Love Island or they remove people from Love is Blind because there's such a large audience. There's so many eyeballs and they're so critical of those shows because they're so popular. But I think like TLC is at the point where they're like nobody, and obviously we're diehard fans and we're amazing content creators and all that shit. But at the end of the day, like TLC knows like they can kind of get away with anything. They could have someone that had a DUI driving the wrong way down a freeway doing promos for their new show Drinking on Valentine's Day because not that many people watch the show to give a fuck to complain.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because you're right. Love Island. I remember the one girl, they figure out she said the N-word, and the next day they had shipped her off the island. Like they had already put her on a plane and got her off the show. Like they were so proactive, like PR damage control. Because I didn't even I had to Google it because I was like, what happened? She was here yesterday. She's not here today. Like they were so fast. So the fact that they just let shit slide, and you know that they knew how it was gonna look. Like I think you're right. They just don't really care. I think that at this point they're like, well, if people watch Love After Lockup, these people are literally in jail and they think it's entertaining. What's this girl is clearly not in jail, so we're just gonna let it slide.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. Anyway, there's that. Okay, and then I made a tweet about not to go back to like Kimberly, but I did a tweet. I said, "How long until how long until this son Larry joins the 90-day Bad Boys?" So yeah, I had to do some 90-day Bad Boys memes because I couldn't help myself.
I saw that one and I actually thought it was funny because I was like, he's a shoe-in because he kind of looks just like Jamal anyway. So it's
Yeah.
a shoe-in. I mean, I know that there's a lot of black representation in the bad boy, so technically there should be another white bad
Mhm.
boy if you want to make it even, but I feel like it's probably gonna work. He should just join.
Yeah, you should. True. Let's see. What are the others that I did? And I think though, yeah, I think those were all my like live tweets I did. So, did we talk? Is there anyone we didn't talk about?
Um, I don't think so. We talked about Gino, we talked about Pedro, we talked about because I think that Courtney hasn't debuted yet. Courtney and Colt
Mhm.
haven't debuted yet.
True.
Oh yeah, I think there's at least those two. And am I forgetting somebody? Are they the only two that we haven't seen yet?
I don't know.
I'm on a blank now. But yeah, I think that was it for this episode. It was 2 hours long. Most of it was Kim's story and the babies or the adoption stuff. Um, and then it was mostly Sophie and Pedro, which I think is gonna fizzle out because in the preview for the next episode, Pedro was saying how much he hated Sophie. So it's gonna fizzle out pretty quickly. I think he's gonna realize that she's just a cock tease and a hooker, and allegedly, and it's not gonna be a relationship. So I think he's gonna figure that out pretty quick.
True, and I'm pretty sure on our podcast where we spill tea like 6 to 12 months in advance of it appearing on TV, and then we forget about it. Um, I'm pretty sure we've discussed it in the sense of like I'm pretty sure at some I don't know if it's like on the show or in private after the show, but I'm pretty sure between George and I, we've already spilled the tea that like Pedro does ultimately smash Sophie. I think that's been confirmed.
Oh yeah, we talked about that last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found that out last year, and we also told y'all that Sophie was banging Rob right after that tell-all too. We told y'all all that stuff. We told y'all
Hmm.
after she said that she couldn't stand him and he was abusive and she wanted a divorce, she banged him. So just let that marinate for a second.
Yeah. So either way, we don't feel too bad for Pedro because I don't think it ended up in no. Well, I think he has a new girlfriend that he unveiled on Instagram. But as far as Sophie, like he's still smashed. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he still got what he ultimately wanted. I don't think Pedro was trying to marry Sophie. She's not marriage material. I'm pretty sure that's what he was setting out to do. I don't know why Rob thought she was marriage material. She belonged to the streets. Streets girls don't get married. You just bang them and you let them go back to the streets.
She's in like, is she still in like Austin, Texas?
Yeah, she's still in Austin. I don't know if she's still living with Kay. Remember Kay, that
Yeah.
girl that wanted to be with her, the
Yeah.
lesbian. I don't know if they're still living together because I don't really follow along with Sophie. She blocked me because she doesn't like my opinions on her street walking.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm blocked too. Yeah. Anyway.
yeah, she didn't like the fact that I knew what she did. Allegedly. But so yeah, I don't know. But she's still in Texas and Rob is in LA. So she's
Like,
living with somebody because we all know one thing, Sophie ain't paying for shit.
well, like there was a thing, I don't know, it was probably like 4 or 5 months ago or some shit. But there was one thing that I had posted a while ago where it showed how much of a star. Well, I mean, okay. Well, I wasn't say it showed how much of a star fucker Sophie is, but at the same time, you may not even know the star that I'm gonna reference. But she was seen photographed like at a club, like at a private table at a club with a live streamer named Duke Dennis. So if you're like too old to know what like a live streamer on Twitch is, you may not know Duke Dennis, but she was at like hanging out with Duke Dennis, so that made me consider her a star fucker.
I believe that. I don't know who Duke Dennis is, but I believe
Like,
that.
do you know who like? I'm not saying Duke Dennis is on the same level, but do you know like Aiden Ross?
I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, there's Speed on YouTube.
I know all of those people that you just named. I just don't know Duke Dennis.
Yeah, the last three I named were the biggest names, and then like Duke Giannis is like one level underneath that.
Oh, so he's not like a A-list streamer. He would be like a B-list streamer.
Yeah, though. Okay, he's like B. Okay, so Kai, if like Kai Cenat,
And
uh,
show speed, those would all be A.
and Aiden Ross, if they're A list, Duke Giannis is B list, but then also what kind of like propels him a little bit is he's like in the same collective as Kai Cenat, which is I forget what it's like some now I'm having a brain fart, but there's some acronym where they're in like a collective or whatever. You know what I mean? Like their group. So Duke Dennis is in the same like group as Kai Cenat. So yeah, he's B list as far as streamers.
Well, I mean, yes, Sophie's like an F list. So let me watch my mouth. Let me be a
Oh, by the way, I remember the like the name of the collective. It's AMP, which it's an acronym and it stands for any means possible, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I think it stands for like any means possible, and it's a collective of like streamers. But yeah, Kai Cenat is like the top dog in that like collective, and then Duke Dennis is underneath it. Though Kai Cenat is like a short little fidget in terms of like height. And then Duke Dennis is like the taller guy who's more of like a ladies' man with like diamond grills and like diamond chains.
All right, that's it. I'm googling it now. I need to know. I'm curious now. I need to know what
So yes, as for an unk, I know all my like
googling it.
Gen Z shit. But anyway, so yeah, Duke
Oh.
Dennis. All
Based on these photos, there's photos where he looks decent, and then there's photos where he looks not decent. So I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, he's depending on the photo, but ladies love Duke Dennis. And then Sophie was hanging out with Duke Dennis like in the club, like at his table, private table. So that means she's like a star fucker.
So what happened? When was the last time you could hear me?
Now.
Yeah, so did I said I was gonna Google him. Did you hear that?
I heard you're gonna Google him and then you went silent for like 30 seconds.
That's wild. I was talking the whole time.
You know, nobody I didn't hear none of that shit.
All right, so yeah, I Googled him, and based on the photos, there's photos where he doesn't look terrible, and then there's a few photos where he does look terrible.
Mhm.
You know, he doesn't look as bad as Kai Cenat, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was a slutty girl, I would do him for a come up, right? I would totally do that. It's not
Sure.
all about the fame, not the looks. He kind of looks like Future. You know who Future is?
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Future, just a little lighter.
Yeah. So anyway, ladies in the chat, let us know if you're Duke Dennis fans.
Wait, can we post pictures in the chat?
No, but you could put
No.
it on Patreon.
Okay. Oh, Patreon. Gina, post a picture of Duke Dennis in the Patreon and then do a poll and see how many ladies want to hit that.
Yeah. Try. Did we hit all?
It can be anonymous ladies. We won't say anything.
So did we? I think we hit all the bases for one episode. No.
I think we did. It was a 2-hour premiere, but like I said, it was more so Kim's story that got most of the traction. There's more coming. I know we're gonna get Courtney and Colt, which I don't know how much entertainment value that's gonna be, but they're gonna.
Yeah, well, there's also we don't have to necessarily get into it tonight, but then there's a whole Kim as a daughter too. But hope though maybe that'll be explored in future episodes. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's coming. There's gonna be a second child for adoption coming. I think that I don't know if y'all watched Between the Sheets, but they released a little bit extra information on Between the Sheets. But yeah, there'll be a little more on that because they're gonna tell Larry about his sister. So yeah, that's gonna be on the season as well. And a lot of people keep saying that like this is a weird storyline for the single life because the single life is usually like I'm out here dating, having fun, getting drunk, getting banged, and then they're like, but we're doing this like super serious storyline. So a lot of people are like, I don't know how to take this. I want to watch people act stupid and get drunk, so I don't know how to take this.
Yeah. Well, eventually she ends up in what? Well, I'm trying to remember. So the dude she's like on the show with not the current guy B or whatever. There's another guy. Do you remember what country the other guy's in or something? The new guy?
I mean, I know what country he's in, but
Just out the country. You can say that.
I mean, it's not America.
It's like, is it Nigeria or something?
It's not Africa.
Okay. Oh, is it like? Oh, I think I know. It's like England, right?
Yes.
That's
You
English.
said it, not me.
I said it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like, well, I think it's like public knowledge, though. I don't think it's
I
like,
mean, yeah, I think that they discussed it briefly
yeah.
in the previews and the trailers. I just didn't want to come out and say it because I was just like, I mean, I know, but as long as it's out there, it's out there. But yeah, it's not Africa. I think a lot of people were assuming it was going to be Africa.
Yeah, she goes for some British dude. Like,
Well, I keep saying Africa like it's a country. My bad. It's not Nigeria. That's a country. Africa's a continent. I'm saying that wrong.
true. And then I think the guy, yeah, it was, who's the guy that was like a boxer, like Riddick Bowe, who's like a British boxer or some shit?
Who are we talking about now?
You know who Riddick Bowe is? He was a British boxer.
No, I don't know who that is. Should I?
I mean, he's a African English boxer. But anyway, I'm wondering if a new guy is like Riddick Bowe with like an accent and stuff.
It's not him. I can verify that it's not whoever you're talking about. I don't know who that is, but I know it's not that guy. But I can confirm that the guy has a native accent.
Okay. Oh, like, well, does he have a wait? Does he have a British accent or another accent?
Native.
What is native to what country though?
You just named it. You just said where it was.
England.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay. Anyway, yeah, I got it. All right, well, yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see Kimberly with like with like a British dude with a British accent. That'll be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to say too much because, I know people will have questions. Let's just wait a little while. Let's let it marinate and I'll have all the insider info you guys need. I'm not gonna tell you everything right this second. We're gonna let her season kind of air out a little bit before we get into it because I have all the insider stuff that y'all are really gonna want to know. I have it all. So
Yeah, he's a Kimberly insider.
yeah, I know everything, guys. I knew about the daughter and the other son and stuff. I knew all of this. Kim, let me just break it down for y'all. After she told Jamal I was her first phone call, and I remember the day like it was yesterday because I remember I was sleeping on my couch in my living room, and it was getting ready for a big move, and she called me, and it was random that she called me because it was pretty early on the West Coast where she was. So when she called me, I thought, why would she call me this early? And I remember she was like, I have to tell you something. And I was like, okay, whoa, what's up? And I remember when she told me, I was just like, I know you lying. I was like, are you for real? Are you for real? For real? Like, it was crazy. But I've known for a really, really long time. Contrary to popular belief, I can keep a secret. And I
Well,
think,
like when she called you and told you the tea, she wasn't filming Single Life at that time, right?
oh, hell no. This was years ago.
Okay, true.
Yeah, yeah. No. No. She was filming
Mm,
something, but nowhere near this. This is much, much more recent.
yeah.
She filmed this show last year. So, and this was years ago. So yeah, but yeah, I've known for a long time, contrary to popular belief, because I know a lot of people have been spreading rumors online that I just be selling people's information and they don't want me to come to events because I just have a big mouth.
Mm.
It's not true. Because if people knew, if I told all the things that I know, I could end so many careers, relationships, everything. Guys, I know everything. Like I'm an encyclopedia. I know everything about everybody.
Mm. Like I know like Liz, she brings up like I think she had like she's public. This isn't me talking like out of pocket or untoward or spilling tea. I think she said she had like a miscarriage with like Jason or some shit, right?
Yeah, she did mention that. That's how she found out that she had cancer
Yeah.
because during tests, routine blood work after her miscarriage is how they found it, and they found it early, which was a blessing in disguise. That's a horrible situation to be in, but that situation got her to find it early, so she was able to fight it successfully. So yeah, but the fact that she was gonna have a child with Jason, I don't even know where to start. Like, and I don't want to be mean, right? I don't want to be mean, but what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. All I'll say is mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
Because
then
you already know what I would say. I'm trying to be nice.
yeah, I think the only point I wanted to make was if I'm friends with someone and they tell me like a medical situation, I will like never spill like medical tea like that. So, but the key is we have to be friends. So in the future, like try to maintain friendships is the moral of the story. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to have an ally over an enemy. I'm just gonna put it that way. Sometimes it's nicer to have an ally than someone that you put in a situation where you can't trust. Because you can trust me until you give me a reason not to. And I'm loyal to you until you give me a reason to not be loyal to you. But once those belts are off, I'll drag your ass. Like if you cross me, I will drag you because I will take your secrets to the grave until you give me a reason not to.
Yeah, see, like Kara is smart because she knows, like, yeah, let's just keep Shabooty happy, and then he'll keep promoting me, and everyone, both of us will be happy. So yeah, you take a chapter out of Kara's book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, keep your allies because your enemies, we're not good enemies to have, right? Like we're an excellent allies. We could help you sell your products. We could talk about your songs and bachata, whatever you got going on. But if you want to get on the other side of the fence, we can make it like you don't exist. Like just know who you're messing with, know who you're dealing with.
Through that, yeah, you got the chicken lady up my ass. You think I'm the KFC Colonel the way the chicken lady's up my ass, but we could talk about that Friday.
Yeah, we'll do that Friday because I know Captain wants to get in on that, and Gina, and maybe Cocco. Maybe Cocco will be back too. And when somebody comes for one person on our crew, you're coming for all of us.
Yeah, no, that's the funniest part too. Like the funny part is like I usually try to be I don't try to go like I don't try to like take the sledgehammer and clobber people too hard. But the funny part is like we have a group chat and then like if we in our group chat say, hey, so and so ain't really fucking with us no more, or we're not really cool with that person no more, it's like maybe I don't even go in on them, but then people forget that like our like inner circle of like our podcast group chat, it's not just like George or Shabooty, but like somebody like Captain Picard, aka JLP, Jean-Luc Picard, like she has like really insanely funny memes, and like she'll just like bash you worse than both of us combined, like on Twitter. So you
Yeah,
gotta watch out.
you gotta chill out. I remember the last person who crossed me. I put in the group chat. I was like, Captain, release the memes.
Mhm.
And once you release the memes, Captain will have you all over Reddit. She will drag you over multiple sites. You'll be all over the internet and you'll get some attention you did not want. So once I sick Captain on you, you got to be careful because she is ruthless and she is merciless. She does not care.
Yeah, like Catherine's memes are so vicious where it's like she has go back to if you don't know who we're talking about, go like on Twitter. I could actually tell you her handle, but anyway, just go on it's like Captain Picard or whatever. I can tell you her handle, but anyway, like she's on Twitter and her memes are amazing and like she has some vicious Liz memes, like live tweets and stuff, and like more vicious than me because I have to almost like I'm too like popular. I'm too popular where like I can't clobber Liz too hard because I'm just like
Well,
too
yeah, we're cancelable.
yeah.
We're not to the point where we're uncancelable, so we kind of still have to watch what we say to an extent. Captain says it all the time. She was like, "Do you think I care if I get canceled or not?" She was like, "I'm gonna say exactly how I feel about these people." So we have to at least maintain a level of decency.
Yeah.
Captain don't. She don't care. She would just come for you.
Yeah, Captain will come for you, come for your familia, she'll come for everybody. But we have to kind of be like, I can't go too hard because people will be like too taken aback.
All right, we're cancelable. We can do something that is unforgivable. It is what it is. When you're a public figure, when people know who you are, you can do something that can be considered unforgivable or unacceptable. So we're a little lenient. We're not going to drag you to the point where you'll cry, but Captain will drag you to the point where you need rehab and counseling and therapy. She will.
Yeah, Captain will drag you to where you're like your offspring will say like, hey, how do I apply for like a new mother or father, let's just say.
Yeah, she will. And I respect her for that. And she's become a legend on Twitter. She's reposted on Reddit and anywhere that you find your memes, there's a Captain Picard meme sitting up there right on the shelf. She really has earned that spot.
Yeah, or like other, and I know I repost her shit, but I do give her credit and tag her. But there's other accounts that will like jack her memes and not credit her. But anyway,
Yeah, we're not going to talk about those people. Those people are ridiculous.
all right, before we end it, let's see what's going on with the live chat. Sherry says she's a legend. Um, let's see. Release the memes. Shabooty is Colonel Sanders to Crazy Chicken Lady. What else? Oh, let me just do what other thing? Let me just do like a shout out to our live listeners, which is obviously Gina, but Amberlee, Colleen, Danielle, Iggy, Marley, Pineapple Girl, Sherry. What else? Any other live? Yeah, Sherry says the L word fucked up by losing me as a friend. Uh,
Mhm.
let's see. Gina says sometimes personal stuff is personal. Page out of car playbook. I don't know. All right, I think we went pretty long, so I guess we should probably end it.
Yeah, this is a long Wednesday show. The
Yeah.
last time we went this long on a Wednesday, I think, is when we
Oh,
found.
it was like an emergency podcast with like Jasmine's pregnant or some shit.
Yeah, we ain't never done this long on a Wednesday. Like it must have been a good premiere because you're
Yeah.
right.
No, it wasn't a good premiere. It's I had really good wine.
Oh, is that what it is? So we just got to ship some wine to Shabooty's house on Fridays and make sure we get a good show.
Yeah, let me shout out the wine I'm drinking, which is well, do you want to take an educated guess on the brand?
No, because I'm not a wine snob. I
Oh,
just
well, that was a joke because the brand is literally called Educated Guess.
really. It's called Educated Guess.
Look on my Instagram stories. It's actually really good. It's fancy. There's different price tiers, but there's fancy wine, fancy versions of it. But yeah, it's called Educated Guess. It's like top. It's actually my favorite. I think it's my favorite wine brand on the planet, actually.
Really? All right, guys. So if your wine is called Educated Guess here at 9 Day Fiancé Fridays, we are a huge fan. So you can go ahead and ship each of us one case, and we will drink it in a mug every show, and we'll take pictures and we'll tell other people to drink it too. So I'll expect my case by tomorrow.
Yeah, let us know. Educated Guess Winery. We're big fans, so hook us up.
Yeah, fly us out to the winery. We'll do all that stuff. We'll do all the stuff.
Yeah, the one I'm having is actually from Napa County, so I would love to go to Napa
Okay,
County.
fancy. Yeah, fly us out to Napa. I got a suit jacket I could wear. Fly us out.
Did you? Sorry, have you ever seen the movie like Sideways?
I don't know. What's it about?
It's about going to Napa County and like drinking the bottle till it goes sideways. I guess I don't know.
I haven't seen that, but that sounds like something that I would do. So
Well, I think it's a movie you got to watch now.
it is. I'll add it to my playlist. I've been watching a lot of older movies
Yeah.
because my new love interest is always asking me what movie.
By the way, I'm not gonna like spill any tea, but like, when are you gonna like go public with your love interest or some shit?
Oh, very soon. Very soon. It's gonna be a huge deal, but I'll tell you offline. But
Yeah.
very soon, actually. It's
Well,
gonna
whenever you make a public announcement, I don't know if it's going to be like Instagram posts, I don't know what it's going to be, but if it is like a public post, like on social media, let me know. And if you want me to share it, I'll happily share it.
Oh yeah, you can. You can. It's gonna be a big deal, and I don't know if I'm ready for it, but it's time.
No,
It's
you know the haters are going to like hate or some shit.
haters gonna hate. That's what they do. They wake up in the morning and they hate and they never congratulate. That's just what's gonna happen. I know. I'm more so. I think it's gonna shock my friends because, like, Shabooty knows who I'm dating, but like, not everybody knows. So I think some of my friends are gonna be like, "The fuck!" Like, they're gonna be like, "What? How did this happen?" So I think it's gonna be that.
Well, I'm not going to spill any of your tea, but here's the only thing I'll say. Like, I'm trying, like, okay, no, well, instead of me saying something like what would it be like what would it be the equivalent of me dating or whatever, like whoever you're dating, like what would it be the equivalent of me dating is my question or
I
something.
can't say because it would give it away.
Okay.
I know exactly who I would say, but if I said it, it would give it away. So I
Yeah, okay, then I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to like blow up your spot anyway.
Not yet. It's soon. It's very soon. We have something big planned, and it's gonna come out. So
Yeah,
but you'll get the story. It'll be exclusive. So the day before it's gonna happen, I'll give it to you, and you can just run with it.
true. And then what I was gonna say, I guess I don't know if we're gonna I don't know if we're gonna do like a private, not private. I don't know if we're gonna do like a Patreon show or if it's gonna be a Friday segment. But I know like I don't know if it was Sherry, but she had like some questions. Like she's interested on us answering questions like when did we meet? How did we start the podcast? Did we meet on Instagram? Did we start on Instagram? Did we start on Twitter? There was those kind of questions. So I don't know if that's like going to be a Patreon show or if it's going to be a Friday show. Though one thing I will say, I know we have super fans that are live in the chat and they listen to every word we say. They hang on our every word. I will say there may be a Friday show like later in the month where I may have to be out of pocket, aka out of town. So may what if we record a Patreon show? Maybe I don't know if we release it on Friday. But anyway,
Wait, when? When are we talking?
huh? On which part?
When are you not going to be
Well,
here?
I don't want to say it like publicly, but
Oh,
privately.
okay, but is it to see a girl?
No. It's because I'm going to out of town to New York or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Oh, I knew about this. I already knew about it.
True. No, I don't want to say
I
like
was
when
gonna
I'm out of
try to
town.
meet up with you, but I think I'm gonna be in LA that weekend.
True.
So actually, I might have been out of pocket too. So
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I was saying to our super fans, and we've been very consistent on Fridays. I'm just saying in a couple weeks on a Friday, we may not do like a live show. I just want to,
or we could do a Thursday instead.
yeah, we could do a Thursday show and publish it on Friday or some shit.
Yeah, we could do that, like just so we stay consistent. Because I have not been a consistent figure as I should be lately. So we gotta get it together. Not we, more so me. More so me. Y'all have been here. It's me.
Yeah. True. All right. I guess let me just look at the live chat one last time before we end it. Angelica says, I just found out about this surprise pod. Sorry, Angelica, you missed the whole fucking show, but I will try to upload it as soon as we finish tonight.
Yeah, you can listen to the replay. Sorry, and this is an off night. This isn't a night that we usually do it. We were supposed to do it on Monday. I missed my flight, and then I was traveling, and then I slept the whole day. So again, this is all my fault. If anybody wants to send any hate mail, just send it to my house. My bad.
True. And then the only thing I'll say is, yeah, I don't like to do late shows on a school night because, as y'all know, I'll be having stressful ass work days and I can't be going there with like 3 hours of sleep plus a stressful day. But anyway,
Yeah, so this is early. It's 10:10.
yeah.
We ended early on a school night, and it was a good show.
So yeah, it was a great show. I'm gonna upload it as soon as we finish, hopefully, and upload it. And thank you everyone for listening. I think it was a very robust show based on one episode of Single Life.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come. It's a lot more to come, guys.
All right, I'm gonna do my outro, which is thank you everybody for listening to 90 Day Fiancé Fridays
On a Wednesday.
peace out, everybody, and thank you for Gina for listening live at the gym.
Thanks, Gina. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.